Welcome back to the channel, Rare Coins History, world of rare and valuable coins, where even the smallest change in your pocket could be hiding a fortune. Today, we're turning our attention to one of the most exciting and talked about coins of recent years, the United States of America Washington State Quarter Dollar from 2021. Don't let its modern date fool you. This coin is full of mystery, rare varieties, and unexpected treasures that have stunned collectors and casual finders alike. You might have a 2021 quarter sitting in your wallet right now that's worth far more than just 25 cents, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. The Washington quarter has been one of America's most beloved coins since its first appearance in 1932. Designed to honor George Washington, the first president of the United States, this quarter has seen many changes over the decades. From silver compositions in the early years to the copper-nickel-clad coins we use today, each new design tells a story about America's history and evolution. The 2021 quarters marked the closing chapter of the America the Beautiful series, transitioning to new designs that highlight American history, art, and innovation. But hidden among these modern mintings are some incredibly rare coins that have taken collectors by surprise. And that's where things get truly exciting. The 2021 Washington quarters were struck at multiple mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. You can tell where your coin was made by checking the mint mark on the obverse side, right next to Washington's ponytail. A P represents the Philadelphia mint, D means it came from Denver, and an S indicates San Francisco. Each mint produces millions of quarters every year, but not all are created equal. Sometimes, errors, die varieties, or striking mistakes can turn an ordinary coin into a valuable rarity worth thousands. Among the 2021 quarters, the Washington State Quarter Dollar stands out for one fascinating reason: a handful of coins struck that year feature rare minting errors and unusual die varieties that make them extremely valuable. Some coins show double die errors, where the design appears slightly doubled on the lettering or the image. Others display striking anomalies like off-center designs, weak strikes, or misaligned dies. There have even been reports of transitional errors and planchet mix-ups, where the coin was struck on the wrong metal blank. Each of these mistakes adds to the coin's uniqueness, rarity, and desirability among collectors, but what truly sets the 2021 Washington State Quarter apart is its perfect storm of modern minting technology and human error. Despite the precision of modern equipment, even a slight misalignment or die flaw can create a once-in-a-lifetime rarity. Imagine a coin struck with a doubled obverse, or one where the mint mark is misplaced or faint. These subtle imperfections might seem small, but in the eyes of numismatists, they're gold. Coins with such errors are often graded and authenticated by professional services like PCGS or NGC, and their prices at auction can reach astonishing heights depending on the rarity and condition. Collectors have become obsessed with searching through their pocket change, coin rolls, and bank-wrapped quarters in hopes of finding one of these rare 2021 treasures. Videos, social media posts, and auction listings have all fueled the excitement, showing how a single error coin can go from spare change to life-changing value overnight. Many collectors recommend examining every detail of your 2021 quarter: the mint mark, the edge, the rim, and even the faintest doubling in the text. Each tiny imperfection could mean the difference between an ordinary coin and an extraordinary discovery. If you're holding a 2021 quarter minted in exceptional condition, one that shines with sharp details, no scratches, and a full, clean strike, it's worth paying attention to. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition always fetch a premium, but if yours also has one of those rare minting mistakes, then you might be looking at a true numismatic gem. Collectors and dealers around the country have been known to pay massive sums for coins that combine beauty, rarity, and historical significance. It's truly fascinating to think that a coin so new, one that most people don't even notice, could already be commanding such high prices among serious collectors. That's the magic of coin collecting, the idea that history, art, and a bit of luck can come together in something as small as a quarter. Every year, new varieties and errors are discovered, and the 2021 Washington State Quarter is proving to be one of the most talked about of them all. Today, we're uncovering the fascinating story behind one of the modern treasures you might not even realize is sitting right in your pocket or coin jar: the United States of America Washington State Quarter Dollar from 2016. This coin might seem ordinary at first glance, but hidden among the millions struck that year are a few extraordinary pieces that have become the obsession of collectors nationwide. These rare coins have surprised even professional numismatists with their incredible value, and by the end of this story, you'll see why some of these quarters have sold for truly jaw-dropping amounts. The Washington Quarter series has always been a collector's favorite, and 2016 marked a very interesting year for these coins. As part of the America the Beautiful Quarter program, each coin released that year honored a unique national site that captures the spirit and natural beauty of the United States. The 2016 editions featured designs celebrating places like Shawnee National Forest in Illinois, Cumberland Gap in Kentucky, Harper's Ferry in West Virginia, Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota, and Fort Moultrie in South Carolina. But among all these designs, certain 2016 quarters, especially those with particular mint marks and rare minting errors, have skyrocketed in value and become some of the most sought-after coins of the decade. The first thing to look for when examining a 2016 quarter is its mint mark, which tells you where the coin was struck. You'll find it just beside Washington's ponytail on the obverse side. A P means it was minted in Philadelphia, D for Denver, and an S for San Francisco. While most 2016 quarters were produced in huge numbers, the differences in mint marks and striking quality can have a huge impact on the coin's value. For instance, the San Francisco proof quarters were made in limited quantities, primarily for collectors, and those in flawless proof condition with mirror-like finishes can command impressive prices. But what really turns an ordinary 2016 Washington quarter into a collector's dream is when rare minting errors or varieties appear. During production, even a slight mistake can result in coins that are completely unique, and that's where the excitement begins. Some of the most valuable 2016 quarters are those with striking anomalies such as double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, or planchet errors. A double die error can make the lettering, numbers, or details of Washington's profile appear doubled, creating a distinctive visual effect that collectors love. Off-center strikes, where the design is slightly shifted on the coin, are also highly prized. And then there are the rare cases where a coin was accidentally struck on a planchet intended for another denomination or metal type, an error that can multiply the value many times over. Collectors and treasure hunters across the country are constantly on the lookout for these rare versions. What makes 2016 particularly interesting is that despite the precision of modern minting technology, a few surprising errors still manage to escape quality control. These coins are now considered modern minting marvels, blending modern history with numismatic intrigue. Each discovery adds new excitement to the hobby, proving that even coins from just a few years ago can hold incredible hidden value. Condition also plays a huge role in determining how much a coin is worth. Coins in uncirculated or mint state condition are always more valuable than those that have been in general use. When you find a 2016 Washington State quarter with crisp details, no scratches, and a sharp strike, it's worth holding on to. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can grade and certify your coin, helping establish its authenticity and market value. A high-grade example, especially one with a recognized error, can easily attract serious attention from collectors and investors. It's also worth noting that the historical and artistic value of the 2016 quarters adds to their appeal. Each design tells a story, from the pioneering spirit of early explorers depicted in the Cumberland Gap quarter to the breathtaking natural landscapes of Theodore Roosevelt National Park. These coins are not just currency, they are small pieces of American heritage captured in metal. That connection to history makes them even more meaningful to collectors who see coins not just as money, but as time capsules of the nation's legacy. Imagine holding one of these quarters in your hand, a coin that millions of people overlook every day, yet yours could be one of only a handful in existence with a rare feature, unique error, or perfect condition. That's the thrill that keeps coin enthusiasts searching, examining, and dreaming. A simple quarter, worth only 25 cents in everyday life, could actually be a treasure worth thousands to the right buyer. Today, we're going to dive deep into the story of one of America's most fascinating modern coins, the United States of America Washington State Quarter Dollar from 2011. This small piece of metal that most people use without a second thought might actually be worth a small fortune if you know what to look for. The 2011 Washington quarter holds secrets, surprises, and a touch of mystery that continues to captivate collectors around the world. So stay with me, because by the end of this story, you'll see why one of these quarters could be worth an unbelievable amount of money. The Washington quarter has a long and proud history in American coinage. Originally introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday, it quickly became one of the most recognized and beloved coins in circulation. Over the decades, the design has evolved, but Washington's iconic profile remains the centerpiece. In 2010, the U.S. Mint launched the America the Beautiful quarter series, which celebrated national parks, forests, and historic sites from every state and U.S. territory. The 2011 editions were especially memorable, featuring some of the most beautiful and symbolic American landmarks ever depicted on coins. The 2011 America the Beautiful quarters included designs for Gettysburg National Military Park in Pennsylvania, Glacier National Park in Montana, Olympic National Park in Washington State, Vicksburg National Military Park in Mississippi, and Chickasaw National Recreation Area in Oklahoma. Each coin in this series tells its own unique story about the country's heritage, natural wonders, and the spirit of American perseverance. But the one we're focusing on today, the Washington State quarter, has become one of the standout pieces from that year, not just because of its stunning design, but also because of its potential value. If you take a close look at your 2011 Washington quarter, you'll find the mint mark just beside Washington's ponytail on the obverse side. This small letter tells you where the coin was made. P stands for the Philadelphia Mint, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. While millions of quarters were produced across these mints, it's the rare errors and special conditions that separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. Each mint has its own quirks, slight variations in strike pressure, die polishing, or planchet quality, and it's these subtle differences that can sometimes result in valuable and highly collectible coins. The Olympic National Park quarter, representing Washington State, is especially stunning. The reverse of the coin features a majestic Roosevelt elk standing before the rugged, snow-capped mountains of the Olympic wilderness. The level of detail in this design is breathtaking, capturing both the grandeur of the natural landscape and the strength of the wildlife that calls it home. It's one of those coins that instantly connects you to the beauty and majesty of the Pacific Northwest. But beyond its beauty lies another layer of fascination, the hunt for rare varieties and minting errors that can turn an everyday quarter into a treasure worth thousands. So what makes certain 2011 Washington quarters so valuable? It often comes down to rare minting mistakes that escape the mint's strict quality control. Some of the known errors include double die strikes, off-center errors, missing layers, or die cracks that create unusual lines and shapes on the coin's surface. A few examples have shown doubling in the inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," or "United States of America," while others have unusual metal composition flaws. These imperfections might seem small, but in the world of coin collecting, they're golden opportunities. Each error makes the coin one of a kind, a piece that can never be duplicated, and collectors are willing to pay huge amounts for that kind of rarity. Even without errors, 2011 quarters that remain in perfect uncirculated condition can hold impressive value. Coins with high mint state grades, especially those rated MS 67 or higher by grading companies like PCGS or NGC, are highly desirable. Coins that retain their original luster, crisp details, and no signs of wear can fetch serious prices among dedicated numismatists. Proof versions struck at the San Francisco Mint are even more stunning, with mirror-like finishes and sharp details that highlight every line of the design. A flawless proof can sometimes sell for hundreds of dollars, but when a rare error or unique variation is added to the mix, the value skyrockets. Now imagine this: you're sorting through a roll of quarters from your local bank, or maybe just checking the change you got from a store, and you spot a 2011 Washington quarter with something unusual about it. Maybe the lettering looks doubled, the design is slightly off-center, or the mint mark seems a bit out of place. That little difference could mean you're holding a coin that collectors have been searching for years to find. It's not just pocket change anymore, it's a piece of American history that could be worth a fortune. the thrill of coin collecting is that every discovery feels like uncovering a piece of hidden treasure. These coins remind us that extraordinary things can still appear in the most ordinary places. The 2011 Washington Quarter tells a story not only about the beautiful Olympic National Park it honors but also about the continuing adventure of American coinage, where art, craftsmanship, and chance all come together in one small but powerful symbol. Today's story is one that will keep you hooked till the very end. It's about the United States of America Washington State Quarter Dollar from 2013. This coin might look like a simple piece of change, but behind its familiar face lies a fascinating tale of minting artistry, hidden varieties, and rare errors that have captured the attention of collectors across the country. And if you're lucky enough to have one of the rare versions of this 2013 quarter, you might be holding something far more valuable than you think. Let's begin by traveling back to 2013, a year that marked another chapter in the U.S. Mint's America the Beautiful Quarter series. This program, which started in 2010, celebrated the national parks, monuments, and historic sites that represent the beauty and history of each state. The 2013 quarters were no exception. They were stunning works of art that told the stories of places like White Mountain National Forest in New Hampshire, Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial in Ohio, Great Basin National Park in Nevada, Fort McHenry National Monument in Maryland, and Mount Rushmore National Memorial in South Dakota. Each one carried a piece of America's identity, but hidden among them were coins with errors and rare mint marks that transformed ordinary quarters into extraordinary treasures. When we talk about the 2013 Washington Quarter, one of the first things to check is the mint mark. It's a tiny letter located on the obverse side of the coin, right next to George Washington's ponytail. That small mark can tell you whether the coin was made in Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. Most people overlook this detail, but for collectors, it's everything. The mint mark reveals where the coin was struck, and in many cases, it can also help identify specific minting varieties or errors that occurred in that location. In 2013, the U.S. Mint produced millions of quarters across all three locations, but the process wasn't perfect. Even with advanced minting technology, mistakes sometimes happen, and it's those rare mistakes that make certain coins worth small fortunes today. Among the 2013 Washington quarters, there are known cases of double die errors, off-center strikes, and planchet defects. Some coins show doubling in the inscriptions like United States of America, In God We Trust, or Liberty. Others have visible misalignments or incomplete designs, where parts of the image or text appear slightly off balance. These kinds of minting errors are considered accidental masterpieces, each one unique and irreplaceable. The coin that represents Washington State for 2013 is part of the America the Beautiful series dedicated to Mount Rushmore National Memorial. This design captures a fascinating perspective, a close-up view showing the carving of the monument itself. You can see the detailed tools and workers who helped shape the granite masterpiece, giving this coin an incredible three-dimensional look. It's one of the most striking designs ever featured on a U.S. quarter, combining history, craftsmanship, and artistry in a single image. But when a coin with such a detailed design also carries a minting error, its rarity and value increase dramatically. Collectors and experts have noted that some 2013 Mount Rushmore quarters exhibit very subtle but important differences in strike quality. A few coins show signs of double dies on the inscriptions or around the fine details of the mountain carvings. These are not easy to spot with the naked eye. Often, they're discovered under magnification or by experienced collectors. But when one of these rare varieties is found in mint state condition, untouched, bright, and perfectly preserved, its value can skyrocket. Another reason the 2013 quarters have become so interesting to collectors is the combination of their artistic design and historical context. This was a time when the mint was refining its techniques, and slight changes in die pressure, alignment, or polishing could create subtle variations. While most 2013 quarters are common, a few of them turned out to be exceptions, mysterious outliers that tell the story of how even modern coins can still surprise us. Now imagine this: you're checking your spare change, sorting through a few coins you got at the grocery store, and you come across a shiny 2013 quarter. It looks just like the others, but something about it seems a little off. Maybe the date looks slightly doubled, or the design seems to have a shadow effect. If that happens, don't ignore it. That tiny difference could mean you found one of those rare varieties that collectors dream about. The value of these special 2013 Washington quarters depends on their condition, rarity, and error type, but one thing is certain: the right one could bring you an incredible return. Coins like this remind us why so many people love this hobby. Each piece of change we handle has a story to tell. Some coins traveled across the country, some sat untouched for years, and some, like the rare 2013 Washington State quarter, were born with a flaw that made them priceless. Collectors aren't just chasing money, they're preserving history, art, and human craftsmanship captured in a single, tiny circle of metal. Today's story about the United States of America Washington State quarter dollar from the year 2015 proves exactly that. What looks like just another quarter in your pocket change could actually be a valuable treasure hiding in plain sight. Many people use these coins every day without realizing that a few rare varieties from this year are worth thousands of dollars to collectors and investors. So, if you've got a handful of quarters sitting around, you'll want to pay close attention, because you might be holding one of the rarest and most valuable coins ever struck in modern American history. The Washington quarter has always been a beloved piece of American coinage, representing both the country's history and its creativity. By 2015, the U.S. Mint was deep into the America the Beautiful Quarter program, a remarkable series that celebrated national parks and historic sites across all 50 states. That year, several quarters were released, including designs like Homestead National Monument in Nebraska, Blue Ridge Parkway in North Carolina, Kisatchie National Forest in Louisiana, Bombay Hook National Wildlife Refuge in Delaware, and Saratoga National Historical Park in New York. Each one carried its own beauty and story, but some 2015 quarters have stood out for a very different reason: minting errors and rare varieties that turned these ordinary coins into small fortunes. Now, what makes the 2015 Washington State quarter dollar so special comes down to its mint mark and production details. Every coin struck by the U.S. Mint carries a tiny letter indicating where it was made: P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. And it's within these mint marks that some of the rarest varieties are found. Certain 2015 quarters from the Denver and Philadelphia mints have been discovered with unique minting errors, double dies, off-center strikes, and die cracks that make each one truly one of a kind. To collectors, these aren't just mistakes, they're treasures that capture a moment in minting history that was never meant to happen. Imagine this: a small shift in the die alignment, or an unexpected strike through grease, and suddenly, you have a quarter that's different from millions of others. Collectors go wild for such imperfections, because they tell a story of rarity and unpredictability. The 2015 Washington State quarter dollar, especially those with visible doubling in the lettering, date, or the fine details of George Washington's portrait, can be worth hundreds or even thousands depending on the condition. But the rarest of them all are those in pristine, uncirculated mint state condition with perfectly visible errors or unique features that have never been repeated. When we talk about value, condition is everything. A coin that's been handled, scratched, or worn down might only be worth its face value, but one that's been kept clean and untouched can fetch unbelievable prices. Professional coin grading services like PCGS or NGC have certified some 2015 quarters with rare characteristics that sent shockwaves through the collector community. These coins, especially with high mint state grades like MS 67 or higher, have commanded extraordinary value at auctions and private sales. Another fascinating factor behind the value of the 2015 quarters is the S mint mark. While most people are familiar with P and D mint marks, the San Francisco S mint mark coins were produced mainly for collectors and are not typically found in everyday circulation. So, if you ever come across a 2015 quarter with an S mint mark, hold on to it. It might not just be a collector's coin, it could be your lucky day. Think of it like this: billions of quarters circulate through vending machines, stores, and pockets across America every single day. Among all that metal, the odds of finding a rare variety are slim, but not impossible. People have found them in rolls from banks, in pocket change, even in old jars of coins passed down from relatives. The thrill of discovering one of these hidden treasures keeps coin enthusiasts searching year after year. It's not just about the money, it's about holding a piece of history, something that connects you to the craftsmanship, the minting errors, and the journey of American currency. So next time you grab some change or pay for a coffee, take a closer look at that 2015 Washington State quarter dollar. Check for the mint mark, examine the fine details, and look for signs of doubling or misalignment. You might be surprised by what you find. That ordinary-looking coin in your hand could actually be one of those extraordinary finds that every collector dreams about, and if you happen to discover one of those rare and flawless 2015 mint mark quarters in perfect uncirculated condition with those unique minting characteristics, then congratulations, because that special piece of metal could be valued as high as $48,000.